Welcome. Today is Friday, January 15th, 2021. We're recording today for Tuesday, January 19th, 2021. We are so happy that the disaster that was 2020 is finally over with. Everyone is looking to new beginnings, a lot of exciting stuff, including us and what's going on in the wrestling world. With that, secure your tickets, make it through your merchandise lines, grab your popcorn, grab your soda, and join us on the fifth side of the ring. I'm Drayven the Sledgehammer, here with the professor. And like he said on our last episode, we got some new stuff coming up for you guys. Ain't that right, Professor?
Oh, absolutely. We said it in your video. We said it in my video. We said it for weeks. We weren't lying. We changed our name, which we're really excited about.
Yep.
We've got some brand new stuff coming. We've got this video thing that we're doing now. We're going to do that on every episode, upload it to YouTube so that if you want to see our faces, which you should.
You should. Absolutely. At least once a week. At least once a week.
You'll be able to hear our beautiful voices and see our handsome faces at the same time.
Yes, and we've got a new logo in the works.
Yeah,
better believe it. Better believe it that when it's ready, I am going to make a huge deal about it because that's what I do.
Yep. And all of our episodes will still be on Anchor, just like always.
Yep. We're going to slap us video, audio, anywhere we can.
Yep. We're going to have a bunch of all the social media stuff that we're going to be doing. We're going to add TikTok, Reddit, a bunch of other stuff. So keep tuned because we're going to be announcing all of this stuff as soon as we get that logo. That a lot of stuff is going to start rolling real quick.
Yep, it sure is. I'm going to be showing off all my action figures because if you listen to headlocks and promos, you know that's what I'm all about. Being corny in my action figures.
Right. How many are you up to now?
Almost 60 now.
I knew it was getting close to 60, if not over.
I had a very nice December. I got Bray Wyatt. I got John freaking Moxley. I got 2 of the Hart Foundation. And my buddy, my homie, Bobby Blaze, hooked me up with an autographed Dolph Ziggler. That's what's up.
From Kent State?
Yep. All right. Anything else to add before I keep talking?
No. You're good at it. Just keep going.
Okay, fantastic. I appreciate that. And as you all know, Anchor's what we use to distribute to all the listing platforms. Should I have said that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go with it. Just go with it.
Just keep going. With it? Okay. Because I'm like, wait a minute. He just said Anchor.
I did.
Okay. So, anyways, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube.
You guys know the drill.
Yep, absolutely. From what a little birdie told me, I hear we might have a website soon.
Mm-hmm.
I got nothing to do with that. That's all you, Professor.
I just try to make it look pretty.
Yeah, I'm lucky.
Apparently, I'm good at it.
You're freaking awesome at it. I mean, we don't have to lie to the people. You had to come over and turn my laptop on before we started, but whatever. So.
And I had to walk you through your webcam too.
Mm-hmm. My webcam, my lighting. I got my Diet Pepsi on my own.
I got my Mountain Dew. I don't know how long that's going to last.
As much as we talk, not very long. All right.
So 2020 was a weird year for all of us.
Absolutely.
Wrestling started off amazing this year with Edge returning at the Royal Rumble. AEW kind of hit their stride. They looked unstoppable. Honestly, after they floundered for maybe about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, they kind of hit that stride again. And I can only imagine what they would have been doing now if COVID hadn't hit.
Oh yeah, I mean, when you said they hit, they punched the gas hard. They did a phenomenal job with handling COVID and bringing it together.
Oh yeah, just having the wrestlers around the ring, adding at least some atmosphere.
Right.
And then WWE was like, "No, we're not gonna do it. We're not gonna do that."
Right.
And then 2 months later, they're like, "Well, I think we probably should do that."
Yeah, we'll try it.
And then we got the Thunderdome out of it.
We did.
I'm not overly pleased with, but again, at least it's some atmosphere.
Yeah, it's better than what it was. Like the empty arena was just like you could hear everything. Like, so you could almost hear, if you had the TV up loud, like I do, you can almost hear them communicate during the match, which is something you don't really want as a fan.
Right.
You want to enjoy that moment. You don't want to hear Bailey say, clothesline me or something like that.
Well, and just a couple weeks ago, we had Wrestle Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so weird because they have a big crowd, but they're not allowed to make any audible noise.
Right.
So they're in the Tokyo Dome,
which is huge.
And they'll do a chop, and that echoes throughout the entire stadium. Or if they just go, you'll hear it echoing around the stadium.
Yep.
In a normal year, you wouldn't get that. You'd barely be able to hear the slap.
Right.
Because Wrestle Kingdom is big.
It is.
And everybody treats it that way. Because there's a lot of out-of-town people like us Riley Americans that go over there for Wrestle Kingdom. So I guess we are just gonna look back and see how things have changed, how we watched and appreciate the product. But I also think that we should kind of piggyback off of last episode.
Yeah, absolutely.
And kind of try to do our little awards. So
yeah,
you want to
absolutely.
explain that to everybody?
Yeah. So, like the professor said, in our last episode of Headlocks and Promos, we went through all of the booking decisions and gave our opinions from 2020. And kind of off of what was going to happen. Now that the year is completely done and over with, now it's time for the cream of the crop. We want to talk about awards. Our top moments, our top wrestlers of the year 2020. We're going to do the first annual awards from the fifth side.
Throughout this episode, gangster, but we're totally not.
Oh yeah, I am so nerdy. No. So throughout the episode, we will be revealing our top 5 wrestlers of the year. So we'll go ahead and start right now. Professor, before I let you start with your top 5, I have this note on my screen that I've made as we prepared for today's episode.
Okay.
Anyone, if you take anything away from today, I have 3 tasks for you. From 2020, you need to go back and watch Wrestle Kingdom. You need to go back and watch the G1 Climax. And hell, you need to just watch every single AEW pay-per-view from 2020. All phenomenal.
Yeah, I don't. All Out was not.
I loved All Out. That was my favorite.
That was the one where Matt Hardy got hurt, and
I know that
killed the pay-per-view for me.
It did, but there's a lot of great matches. So yeah, when we think of it, we think about what happened to Matt, and we were all worried about him. But when you go back and watch it, and you know that Matt's okay,
it wasn't a bad pay-per-view. I will say that it's
right.
I'll say it this way: it was a bad pay-per-view by AEW standards.
Yeah.
By AEW standards, that was a terrible pay-per-view. But compared to WWE,
it was phenomenal.
It was one of the best pay-per-views of the year.
Right. And I mean, I'm looking at some of my awards I want to hand out or my nominations. And maybe FTR had something to do with that being my favorite pay-per-view.
Maybe just a little bit.
Maybe it's influenced. Maybe.
Yeah, because I know a certain match that happened, and they ended up winning a certain championship during that pay-per-view.
You know what? That sounds familiar, Thomas. Okay, anyways, Thomas, back on track. Sorry I went on a complete tangent, but what are your top 5 wrestlers for 2020?
All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to kind of sprinkle them in throughout the
I love
throughout
sprinkles.
the episode.
Yep.
So right now I say what we should do is do top male and top female. So I'll do my female first, you do your female, and then your male, and then we'll come back to me for we'll do it live.
Fantastic. We will.
All right. So my number 5 female for 2020 is Impact Wrestling's Deonna Purrazzo. She had a fantastic year, won the Impact Women's Championship twice. I can tell you this right now, this list would have changed a lot had COVID not happened.
Mm-hmm.
But Deonna Purrazzo going to Impact was the best thing for her career, period.
Yeah.
It was she came back and she's got those submission moves. It's fantastic. So what about your female wrestler, number 5?
Okay, my number 5 is Thunder Rosa.
I expected that to be higher.
So did I, until I started going through accomplishments that women had this year, and I initially had her at 3, but through some...
That's who I thought you would have it. I actually thought you would have her at number 1 or number 2.
Before I sat down, if you would ask me, I would have said, yeah, Thunder Rosa is number 1. I love Thunder Rosa. She's amazing. Amazing look. Amazing in the ring. But once I sat down and started to look at the list and compile it, I had to start moving it around. So I am attempting to limit my favoritism in this episode. We'll see how well it does, because by the time the episode's over, maybe I scratch the whole thing and start over.
Well, you know what? By the time that this episode is over, I'm pretty sure that everybody's going to think that we're being paid by AEW.
We're not?
No.
Damn it.
I know.
Okay, Thunder
nice.
Rosa is still number 5.
Tony Khan. If you want to, our email address has changed also.
It has.
It's the number 5, Fifth Side Podcast @gmail.com. And all of the social media platforms too. You can get a hold of us there too.
Yep.
So Tony Khan, if you're listening, he's not. let us know.
Let us in.
Yeah, there you go.
Let us in. Okay, you want me to do my number 5? Okay.
Number 5 male.
Technically, my 4th and 5th are tied, so that's Okada and Naito. So I
thought about putting the New Japan stuff on there too, but because I didn't really start watching it until later on in the year, I kind of dismissed those.
These are the only 2 on my entire list anywhere, and that's because I went through Impact, AEW, WWE, NWA, New Japan, and they had to be in the top 5 from their accomplishments, and just the number of 4, 5, and 5 and a quarter, 5.5 star matches that some of these guys are putting on. I had to put them on the list just to put their names in Fifth Side of the Ring.
Just Ibushi and Naito and Okada are, and Omega too, Kenny Omega.
Yes, he is huge.
They're 5-star match machines.
They are. And if I can remember to do it, which I'll make myself a note, I will post a link on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram of all the 4, 4.25, 4.5, 5, 5.25, and 6-star matches from 2020. And it is amazing how many come from New Japan.
Oh yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah.
New Japan is really good. Well, they focus on their wrestling. They're not all about the pageantry like us Americans like.
Right.
They focus on the wrestling.
They do.
All right.
And
So
that's why we can take independent guys that are really good at their craft and send them over there, and immediately within a year or two, they're putting on 5-star matches with some of these guys. Yeah. And I say that it's more thanks to those guys over there than us.
Sure. All right. So my number 5 is Randy Orton.
He had a great year.
He had a fantastic year. If you would have told me a couple years ago that Randy Orton would have had the year that he had with no fans in attendance.
If you would have ever said anything about no fans being in attendance, we were all thought you were nuts.
So the last couple weeks, we chose a terrible time.
Horrible.
To take a break.
Horrible. We thought, hey, it's the holidays. We're going through some changes. Let's take a break, spend time with our family, and move this in a new direction. Boy, did we make a boo-boo.
Yeah. So much has happened over the last couple weeks. A lot of it was good, but unfortunately, the one major point was the passing of John Huber, Brody Lee, Luke Harper, all of the stories that have come out on social media, even on the shows themselves. This must have been he must have been a saint.
Yeah.
He sounds like he was a saint. And AEW did their tribute show justice.
Absolutely. It's probably the most perfect tribute show I've ever seen.
It's certainly the best tribute show I've ever seen. It's widely been touted as the greatest tribute show ever. I don't know about that. I haven't seen them all, but it wouldn't surprise me. It was a fantastic show. And then like a week later, his son, -1, was on Dark, and he comes out and he cuts a promo on Marco Stunt. And I'm like, man, I can't wait for this kid to grow up. He's like 8 years. He's this good at promos at 8 years old. He's gonna come up and he's gonna be Eddie Kingston whenever he's 18.
Right.
And then later on, he comes out and he cuts a promo on Luther too. He's like, "You got a stupid ball on your head." It was great.
See, I give props to the kid to be able to go out there and do that, even in front of the small audience. That's huge. He's going to be phenomenal when it comes his time to join the wrestling industry.
And he come out, he was like, he had some swagger.
He did.
So after that, I mean, you had Randy Orton setting everybody on fire.
Yeah.
Which I know we didn't like that.
No, we didn't care for it. The cinematic stuff, it's got its place. You'd think if they got this time that they would make it look a little better. Like with the Alexa Bliss fireball to Randy Orton. It was
and the 6 camera cuts.
Yeah, it was just it was not pretty at all.
And I know that from what I'm hearing though is USA Network is really pushing on WWE hard right now because their ratings suck.
Yeah.
And they're like, you guys need to have adult entertainment. So WWE's like, all right, adult entertainment, set everything on fire.
Yes.
No.
Right.
That's like 12-year-old stuff, man. I did that stuff whenever I was a kid.
Right. Yeah. Not now. Not now.
And then you have Wrestle Kingdom. 4 match of the year candidates.
Right.
Right out the gate.
Right out the gate.
Okada versus Will Ospreay, which was my favorite match of either night. You had the main event that night too. You had Ibushi versus Naito, which was a fantastic match. Next, you had on night 2, you had Jeff Cobb versus Takagi. Amazing match. That was my number 2 match of the whole show.
And see, some people may only know Jeff from AEW, so for them, they're like, "Wait, Jeff Cobb had a 5-star caliber match?"
I think it was 4 stars.
Right, but still.
But yeah, it was a fantastic match. He's on New Japan Strong too, which is on Friday nights. Lastly, you had the main event, Ibushi versus Jay White. And a lot of people say that was the best match of both nights. There was a lot of story behind it. And even if you didn't know the story, the English commentators tried to fill you in pretty well. I think they did a good job at trying to fill you in as to what was going on.
Yeah, I think around Jay White, there's still some storytelling going on.
Yes. A lot. The night after that, he cut a promo, and a lot of people were saying that's probably an early candidate for promo of the year, where he's like, why? If I'm not winning this title, why do I even bother? And he hasn't been on New Japan since. They took his profile off of their website.
Yep.
But it's a work. Totally a work. There's a lot of speculation that he's going to WWE, and I'm like, nope. New Japan is not going to let him go, number 1.
Nope. Right.
Number 2, Jay White does not want to go anywhere else. He doesn't fit anywhere else. If he went to AEW, he might be at the top of the card for a minute, maybe a minute and a half.
Yeah. Unfortunately, guys like Brian Cage, Lance Archer come in, a lot of hype build up, and quickly drop down to mid card. So
right. Well, just like Miro. I mean,
yeah.
This week's Dynamite, he had his best match to date.
Yeah. Finally, a good match.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to what's going on with him going forward now, because before he was just kind of running in place.
Right. Yeah. And I'm kind of iffy on his character. I am. Like, I don't know what it is. I'm not a fan of it. I think he could have. He's a dominating force.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I would have totally bought in if he came in and joined like Taz's faction and like took the lead dog role in that.
See, I would have preferred him with Jake the Snake.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Something.
Or the family.
Yeah.
But I would rather see him with Jake and
yeah, I'd be all right with. Yeah, I'd be okay with that one, or like I said, Taz's group, just because it's a bunch of big guys. He adds that immediate, legitimate threat to the championship title. Because honestly, none of the guys in that group right now I can't take any of them serious.
They're not doing anything with them. That's the problem, is they get focused on one or two people, and they just kind of stick with it for one cycle, like about a month.
Yeah.
They have their championship match, and then okay, you're gone now. Go down to the mid card where you're supposed to be.
Right. And I'd say that's probably one of their biggest faults, that and the women's division, getting that organized. If we can get some of that cleaned up moving forward.
However, that segment, the doctor's office with Britt Baker, awesome. It was chaotic. I know a lot of people didn't like it because there was so much going on.
Right.
I was excited because there was so much going on. There was like 4 storylines going on in that one segment, and 3 of them were women.
Right.
That's exciting.
It's building some hype now. Now they just need to keep developing the stories
and stop putting them in picture.
I knew that was coming. I
cannot stand it. Like, they had such a great match between Serena Deeb and Ty Conti this week.
They did.
And half of it was in picture.
Yep.
It makes me so mad because I can't see it.
Right.
Like,
we just need to get you like
big.
We just need to get you like an 80-inch TV, then you'll be able to see it. Problem solved.
I mean, I already got a 55-inch. So
well, if we almost double it, maybe you'll be a little happier.
I don't know if I'd be able to fit it in.
We'll just cut off half your house, slide it up. Got a new wall in your house.
Right. I'll just take the window out. It's fine. I don't need it.
Nope. Overrated.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I sleep during the day anyways, so just block out the light.
Right. All right. What to next?
Let us. There's some more that we want to talk about, but I think what we should do now is go with some of our lower titles here. So, what do you think about doing the overrated and underrated?
Fantastic. You got Mountain Dew ready to go?
Right here.
All right. So, most underrated moment. I only picked one of each. Underrated moment is when Moxley joined the Inner Circle.
Okay.
And after about 2 minutes said, I'm kidding. I'm just pulling your leg. I think it's great. His chase figure has him in an Inner Circle shirt. It's awesome. I think out of all the things we constantly read about and talk about on all the different wrestling groups, that's one that I don't think gets enough love. Absolutely underrated. How about you, Professor?
See, I went a different direction. I didn't go with moment. I went with wrestlers. And I've got kind of a list here. So Aleister Black is absolutely underrated.
Yep.
Ruby Riott.
Yep.
Big Swole.
Mm-hmm.
My 2 biggest, I couldn't decide between these 2. Underrated would be Sonya Deville.
Yep.
And Shayna Baszler.
Yes.
Shayna Baszler should have been the Raw Women's Champion this entire year.
Yep.
She should have won the Royal Rumble and then beaten Becky Lynch at WrestleMania.
I thought with the whole neck angle last year, the bite and everything, I thought for sure the writing was on the wall. She's champion for 365 days.
And now, as I said before, they got her stuck with Miss Botch-a-lot.
Yep.
Which actually sends me into the overrated.
Perfect segue. Okay, so overrated for me is going to be real quick. Anything serious, anything in the ring related to Orange Cassidy.
All right.
He is comedic relief. I love him as comedic relief, outside tag matches, but putting him into main events and title shots, it's been overkill. I really enjoyed him early in AEW, but I think putting him into those matches that we know they're never going to put this title on Orange, but we're going to book him that way anyways, kind of made me sour on him a little bit. So going through a lot of my notes, Cassidy.
I can see that. He had that great match at Revolution with Pac.
Yes.
And he gained a lot of traction with the mainstream, like with kids, kids especially. The problem is his gimmick. You have to keep him off of the wrestling part of it.
Yes.
Have him do the goofy stuff.
Yes, that is him. That is gold. I had arguments in early 2020, like, no, Orange Cassidy's gold. Like, he's hilarious. Comedic relief.
Then whenever he has an actual match, like whenever he had it against Pac, because the build was there, they kept him from those good matches, those legit matches. But his gimmick doesn't call for that.
Right.
Keep him mellow as hell.
Yep.
Until that match.
Yes.
And then have him just go off.
Yes.
That's correct. How you book Orange Cassidy.
Yes. So as we prepared for this, I'm looking at, okay, who actually got these awards, who were nominated for them, whether I agreed with him, disagreed with him. He got a lot of love in 2020. And I was like, this writes on the wall for me. Like, if you said, hey, rank out your top 5 most overrated, Orange Cassidy, 1 through 5. Sorry.
So I've got a little bit of a list here. Nia Jax is obviously on my list. Lacey Evans is also on my list. I'm surprised that Goldberg is not on your list.
Yeah, I couldn't think where to put it in at. I mean, I dogged him enough in the first 20 episodes we did, so.
And then Braun Strowman.
Yeah. We wanted him with a title reign for so long, went so long without it, and then it was like force him down our throat while Roman was gone.
Well, they just pulled the trigger. It was just 6 months too late.
Yeah.
He had already cooled down. You didn't take advantage of him whenever he was hot.
Right.
All right. Well, speaking of Goldberg.
Yep.
So somebody has a WWE Championship match at the Royal Rumble. And apparently, all you have to be is Goldberg.
Yep.
WWE can't be stupid enough to have him do it again. They can't be.
Dude, I went weeks, if not a month, when they did Bray Wyatt, the Fiend, like that.
Yeah.
When they did that to his character, the build up between Bray Wyatt, the Fiend, and the whole thing, like the merchandise was selling like crazy, and to drop it to a Brock Lesnar 5.0 for what? Like, you have someone that is selling merchandise that fans love, and now it's like the writing's on the wall that it's going to happen again.
I hope not.
I really hope not, but.
Well, I mean, speaking of the Royal Rumble, though, who do you think? Who are your favorites?
I was looking at a list of guys that have never won it. So depending on who goes into it, right off the top, Keith Lee, as you and I had discussed a couple days ago, Big E, he'd probably be my favorite right now if they didn't put the IC belt on him. So right now I'm going to lean Keith Lee, but looking at guys that have been in the industry for years and has not won the Rumble yet, and it'd be like a nice ring to their list of accomplishments, I will go out and say Daniel Bryan. I think he needs that as he comes to an end of his career, and Dolph Ziggler.
Okay.
Like it just still like AJ Styles, like
that would be some shit.
Yeah. AJ Styles and Dolph, like no matter who they're out there with.
Oh, AJ. Yeah, I didn't even think
they
about
can
AJ.
have the dumbest matches, like the dumbest storylines, but you put either of those two guys in the ring with someone, and it's going to be an amazing match.
Goldberg.
Yeah.
That match between, or rather, series of matches between Goldberg and Dolph Ziggler, where Ziggler was like, no, come back here.
Yep.
And then he come back and spear him and pin him again.
Yep.
I loved every second of that. I'm not even going to lie.
Those two guys, if we're talking about just pure, like, and I love Randy Orton too. Like, you guys see his autograph on my wall. Two guys that I will just stop and watch because they are phenomenal just in the ring. They write a story when they are in the ring. AJ Styles and Dolph Ziggler. Just great. And I'll add AJ to the list too of guys. Any of those 5 or 6 guys that I mentioned, I would be thrilled if any of those guys win the Rumble this year.
Yeah, you're preaching to the choir here. Yeah, I mean, Daniel Bryan is the favorite right now. I'd love to see Keith Lee win.
Yeah.
Big E, like you said, we were talking about a couple days ago. Had he not won the Intercontinental Championship, he would probably be my number 1 favorite right now.
Right.
But I would not put it past WWE to put it on somebody who has won it before.
Yeah.
Or is just going to be back for 2 months until WrestleMania, and then
Goldberg, you said, Lesnar,
The Rock. Lesnar. The women's match is the one that I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, and I think we both have the same top 3 in that one.
Probably.
Yeah.
I've got Bianca Belair is my favorite.
Okay, she's.
You cut out. I didn't hear what you said.
Oh, she's my number 3.
You're number 3. All right.
Yep.
My number 2 is Rhea Ripley.
Yep. My number 1.
I really want to see Rhea Ripley win. I mean, I just like seeing Rhea Ripley, number 1. But
yeah, I mean, yeah.
And then number 3, I'm not so excited about.
Who's that?
That would be Charlotte Flair.
No, I don't think it's going to happen. So my number 2, Toni Storm.
I can't see Toni Storm.
I'm just hoping.
I can see a Candice LeRae.
Yeah, but I'm not.
But I don't.
Yeah.
I can't see. I could even see Bayley.
Yeah, I can see that. I just don't know if they'd pull the trigger with her having this nice long title reign and being in the light for so long. If they would say it's your time, it's more like maybe in a year after some of her hype dies down and they want to ricochet that back up, then give it to her in like a 2022, 2023.
Yeah. Well, and there's talk now that Ricochet's contract is up next week.
Yep.
And he's trying to dispel rumors of him not signing with WWE.
Yep.
And if he does not sign with WWE, he's not going to have a non-disclosure.
Yep.
Or not non-disclosure,
non-compete.
But a non-compete.
Yep.
So he'll be able to next freaking day.
Yep.
Go to wherever the heck he wants to.
Yep. Tuesday he can show up on Impact. Wednesday he can show up AEW.
I would love to see him in Impact. I would also love to see him in AEW. However, he's going to get a higher profile in Impact.
Yes, that's where I was going, was Impact is he's in immediate title picture, immediate main event, astonishing matches,
Yeah,
AEW.
At least the X Division Championship right away.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Every bit of it. And he's another guy, if I'm saying anything's underrated, is, man, his matches the last year, like, he just goes out and wrestles every single week with stupid booking.
Oh,
Stupid
and
booking.
he's not giving his all. You know that he's not.
Oh, you can tell.
You can absolutely tell how frustrated he is just walking up the ramp.
Right. And I don't blame him one bit. I mean, I know it'd probably be a lot less money for him to go to Impact, but I think it's best for Ricochet. Like, I hyped this dude up before he arrived. Like, just watching his YouTube videos, like, oh my God, this dude is phenomenal. And yeah, once he got to the main roster, it was doomed.
All right. So let's go back to our awards here. So
yes.
We did these two.
Yeah, I'm trying to black out what we've done. So we've got like a little checklist going.
So let's go with our, we forgot to do our male and female superstars of the year the last little bit. So why don't you go ahead and do your male number 4?
My male number 4, that was a tie. So we'll skip my male and I'll just go straight to my female.
Okay.
And my number 4 was Asuka.
Okay.
Asuka.
Okay.
Yes.
I had Io Shirai.
Okay. I think they both had great 2020s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Rhea Ripley should have been up there.
She should have, but they...
Shayna Baszler should have been up there.
Yep.
Tessa Blanchard should have been up there.
Yep.
Had COVID not happened, Tessa Blanchard would probably be number 1. But now she's not even on the list because she decided that she didn't want to work for Impact anymore, I guess.
Yes. And boy, did she have the wrestling world by the...
Oh, yeah. She did.
Yeah.
She still does.
Yeah.
And I'm hearing more rumors now that AEW wants her. And that kind of surprises me.
I've heard varying versions that either they want her or that no, she's got attitude issues and nope, we don't need that right now. So
I can see it not going well in the women's locker room.
Yes, absolutely.
Especially with Nyla Rose there.
Yeah.
All right, so my male number 4 is Hangman Adam Page.
Well deserved. I fought with myself, so I'm glad he's on yours.
I fought with myself between him and my number 3.
I had about a 7 or 8 way tie for 4th and 5th place and had to narrow it down that way. So I'm glad he made your list. Well earned.
So we have something important just happened.
What?
I ran out of Mountain Dew.
Dude.
So we got to stop here. I'm going to go get more.
Okay.
And we'll be right back.
Okay, we're going to commercial break. I need more. Well, I'll need more Diet Pepsi. Beautiful.